Believe it or not, Hulu's been around for quite some time. Not quite as long as Netflix, but it's been around long enough that if you're like me, you remember when Hulu was free to watch and you just had to put up with ads. A lot's changed with Hulu recently, so I figured it would be a good idea to come back and check out the Hulu app on Roku. And that's what I'm going to preface this with. This is the Hulu application as it works on the Roku device or the Roku streaming system. Hello, I'm Wanderer001, and we're going to take an in-depth look at Hulu and see what's changed over the years. I will state that all the load times and screens that you're going to see are in real time, letting you know how well the application works on a Roku device. Over there in the corner is the one that I'm currently using. So let's get things started by starting Hulu right here. And there is our load. Right there, we're brought into the Hulu application. If you're just here for some basic quick information about Hulu, profiles. You can have up to 6 profiles per Hulu account. You can see right here, there is a dedicated kids style profile. You can have 2 streams per account. If you wanted more streams, you'd have to do the Hulu with live TV. Again, another review in the corner there. And then there's an option to have unlimited streams. But even with a paid version of Hulu, you are limited to 2 streams. Speaking of paid version of Hulu, they've gone away with the actual free version. So you are either paying, rounding up, $8 to get Hulu with ads. And generally you're looking at between 3 to 4 ad breaks per 30-minute show. Each ad break will show you a little timer in the upper left-hand corner, letting you know how many ads there are left, as well as timing. And then there is a $15 a month, no ads, or air quotes, limited ads, because there are certain shows that you will still see bumper ads for before the show actually starts. With either of the plans, you can save about 16% if you pay for a year up front. However, remember, streaming services you don't have to have on all the time, and I'll touch on that a little later. If you're looking for just a sampling to find out if Hulu's for you, generally you can get a 1-month free trial. However, if you wait until the end of the year, and this is how they got me, they run a special where you can get Hulu for $12 for the entire year. With the housekeeping stuff out of the way, let's actually get into the app and Hulu as it pertains to the Roku. Now, this is one of my pet peeves in that the line is across the top, letting you know which one of these you're actually selecting. I kind of wish it was underneath. But if we select into one of our accounts, so here we have my family account, right here you've got a big ad leading off on the home, so this is going to be a rotating category. Coming down, the live now is only because I have the Disney Plus ESPN Hulu bundle, again over there in the corner if you're looking for more information on that. But normal Hulu will not have that live TV now area. Next you have the For You, and this is based on your watch history and what it thinks it knows about you. Most of these I'm going to say, well, okay, Community, I'll admit I watch. The rest of this is really not up what my wife and I actually watch. Maybe Futurama. But coming down, now we have a Movies For You. Again, Hulu is going to have movies and TV shows, pretty much anything that's owned by Disney, because let's be honest, one of the good things about Hulu, and here we've got an ad for something to watch, the good thing about Hulu is if you are into keeping up with your shows, as long as it's a property owned by or paid for by Disney, you can get it the next day. So in this case, Bob's Burgers, it airs on Sunday nights. Generally, Monday night, you can get it. However, that's also where some of the ad stuff comes in. Some of the shows, you can get it almost hours after. However, you will have to sit through an ad or 2 during the show, even if you pay for the ad-free version. So this is our continue watching section. This is going to list out anything that you have started watching. The white line underneath signifies how far into the episode you are. As you can see, highlighting is not too bad. You can see it just kind of puts a white box around whatever you're selecting. Now you have Because You Watch. So these are shows that it thinks you would be interested in because you watched Bob's Burgers. And realistically, I can say it's fairly accurate. I've watched that before. I've watched that. Long time ago, watched that. Watch that, good show. When I was younger, I watched that. Coming down, you get another ad. Moving down, so we have sections. So it's going to try and figure out, hey, what are other things that I might be able to entice you into watching? So here we've got trending. And you'll notice all of these, they're kind of in this film strip. And for me, I don't like the film strip style of presenting information, because that means you're always going to be moving across the screen and you're never going to see everything all at once. That's kind of how I prefer to see things. Here we have newly added, so this is going to be new shows to Hulu. And in the lower right hand corner on some of these, so like this one right here, you can see that this is a Hulu original show. This was one from MTV, this one is from A&E. Coming down, ESPN Plus, you won't have that unless you're doing the bundle like I am. Adult animation, newly added movies, dubbed anime. Again, here we have ads for premium add-ons that you can have with Hulu. So you can have Hulu kind of take care of all of your stuff in one location. So what you can get are HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, and Starz. You can pay for those all through the Hulu app, and they have differing prices depending on what you select. Coming down, another ad. Here we have easy to watch TV. They're just going to aggregate stuff. Another ad. Full series comedy, so this means these are complete. Another ad. Binge watching, animated shows, reality TV, powerful. You can see the lists really just are almost never ending. Like, I am scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and we haven't hit the bottom yet of this. So we had to go quite a bit of ways to come down to the bottom, where now we have genres. So we have new up-and-coming action, adult animation. This is where it breaks it down further. So hypothetically, if I come into adult animation, this is going to have, hey, here's all this adult animation for you. Again, even though it's in these big boxes, they're still doing this film strip style, which I really don't like. But here we have popular and then A to Z. Now notice I have to scroll all the way over here before it lets me select a view all, and then I get something that's not a film strip style, which this is my preferred method of seeing shows laid out. If I select back on the Roku remote, we're going to do that one more time to come back to where we were before, which was all the way at the bottom of our selection screen here. If I press back on the Roku remote, tapping that twice brings me all the way back up to the top of the app, which I very much appreciate, that you don't have to scroll all the way back through the content to get back to the top of the screen. A lot more apps should do that, just letting you know. That was all on our home screen. If we come over to the left, this actually is our search function, and here you can see over here we have trending searches. So this is things that people might have been searching for, and if we want to, we can come in here and search for, I know they probably don't have anything, but let's see what it completes with. So I was trying to see if it had any Star Wars, but you could see right here, it's got these shows that have star in the title. We've got our top results right there. Again, green bar on the top letting you know. And then we have sports events, episodes, movies. So it helps break that down and make it easier to find. However, you'll notice that these, well, guess what? You need an add-on in order to actually watch them. We're going to select back and come back to our home page and come over to TV. Your TV section is going to, here we go, genres right up top, and that will let you select your specific genre of television. But then again, just like we had on our homepage, it's going to break things down into individual sections where it's like, hey, we think you might enjoy something. Here's where you get something different, in that you have a TV section. Here you can pull up all the stuff from A&E, ABC, Adult Swim, AMC, and the list goes on. We could just kind of go across this. Now, keep in mind, Discovery, they have their own application, but Discovery has given the rights to Hulu to stream specific things. So if I come into ABC, will probably have a lot more. Again, Disney owned, but here we go. These are all the things that you can watch, just ABC related content. And we're going to go back and go back. Scrolling down, animated comedies, award-winning, edgy comedies. I'm going to select the back button, which brings us back to the top row, which is great. Coming across, we have movies. Just like before, we have our genres, for you, popular. You get the idea what these pages are going to look like. Sports, again, ignore because some of this is based on me having ESPN Plus. News, this is going to be an aggregate for your news stuff. So live and upcoming, lists, special series. This is going to be your news related broadcast. My stuff. This is where all of your favorites live. So if you favorite something, it ends up here. Notice you can break it down, and I came down, so the green highlights over TV. These are all the TV shows somebody in my family has selected that they want to watch. You can come over to movies and have your movies selected. It breaks those out. This took me a while to get used to the fact that it was breaking out TVs and movies into their own sections. Here we have sports. Again, need to have some sports related stuff there. Teams, don't have any, but if you were following specific teams, you could put that there. Again, if you had the bundle. Expiring, right now, there's nothing set to expire based on the selections of my favorites, and I don't have any favorited networks. I'm coming back up to the top here. I'm gonna come into TV, and we're going to come into this show here. And I'm doing that because I want to show you what it looks like when you're selecting a show. You kind of get like a little play in the background. You get right here, brings you to watch immediately right there. We can add this to our watch list, and then we can like, dislike. If you like and dislike things, it'll make it easier for the Hulu algorithm to figure out what you actually enjoy. Coming down, we have episodes. Now, this is a thing that I don't particularly care for. Episodes on the left here are in reverse chronological order. Your newest is always at the top. But when you come over here, you start at 1 and go down. It's a little thing that is annoying. However, what I do like with Hulu is if I come in here, and we're just gonna let that load up for a second. There's our little bumper ad. More ad. And now it's getting into the actual show. If I pause this, we can see the name of our show, ratings. We have a timeline right there. If you had ads, they would show up there. We have rewind, fast forward, play pause. Play pause, if you're using the Roku remote on a Roku device, and that's what this is, you actually have to tap it twice before a show will actually pause. A little thing that I don't appreciate, but just letting you know. Coming over here, and we can see it highlights it, we've got our settings option. So right here, I can turn on and off subtitles. I can change the audio if there is different audio. And I can come in here and select autoplay, which is play the next show. We also have the ability to access information from here. So here we can go to details or add it to my stuff right from here. If we fast forward this, one of the things that I like, you get a little preview of what you're actually watching. So it kind of gives you an idea of where you are. Now, you can have as slow as 4 times or up to 32 times for speed. So we're gonna pause that for a moment and then come down, because if we select down, we get more to watch. So it's like, hey, you watch this, maybe you'll enjoy these things here. And then for each of these, you can kind of go, okay, well, I'll add this thing that I have highlighted to my favorites or my stuff. I'm going to select back and then back one more time, because on this page, we have also things that it thinks you'll like, and then extras for the particular show that you're watching. And we're gonna select back and back to demonstrate one of my dislikes. If we come back to my home and then continue watching, which you gotta kind of dig for down here, well, all of these things that are here, well, some of them I finished, but because I didn't watch the last 30 seconds of it, it won't go away. And there's no way to actually remove them from your continue watching area. It's a little annoying. But that was my stuff. So the last thing up on the top here is the hubs. Now, hubs, as it sounds, will be a collection of stuff. If we come down, we've got streaming on Hulu, and this is breaking it down into those individual services like we had before. And then here we have elevating voices, audio, entertainment. So here we got kids. What kids network would you like? Sports, news, A to Z, that's all under our hubs. Now, if we come over to the right one more time, this is our profiles area, and we can access our profiles from here. We can access settings. We can access account. We're gonna jump into profiles for a moment, because what we were on was considered an adult profile, meaning there are no restrictions. However, as you saw right here, I do have a kids profile. Now, if I come over here and I select edit, I can change this profile name and I can turn on or off kids mode. Now, notice if I turn off kids mode, you do have to put in a birthday and gender, but on kids mode, you don't have to. If I access a kids mode profile, it's going to take away everything that is not kid friendly. Now, the one thing with a kid profile, you cannot set an age range for this profile. However, you can set up a PIN code for all the other profiles to keep kids out of seeing things that they shouldn't, which is the better way of doing it. I'm looking at you, HBO Max, that had a PIN code to keep them from accessing the kids' profile. That just seemed really weird. But on a kid's profile, it's going to grab everything that's about up to age 12. So right here, we were on the For You, big pictures, very easy for them to see. We have kids movies, we have all the networks that have kids stuff. You've got the different genres, action, adventure, and then if we come into something like this is the true tell-all as to what they consider. Yep, mostly Yu-Gi-Oh! And Digimon and Pokemon, so things of that nature. So it does a good job of stripping out a lot of the adult anime that is available on Hulu. You've got Hulu Originals, here we go, ages 8 to 12, 5 to 7, preschool, Stars Movies, so that's something that's free, that's accessible to you, newly added movies, IT, education, uplifting. So these are those same broken out genres that you had on an adult profile. And then you can come over to My Stuff, and just like you could for the other profiles, a listing of all of their stuff. Now if I select back to profiles, if I had a PIN code set up, it would ask me for a PIN code to access any of these other profiles. But we're going to quickly pop into family and then all the way back over to profiles so I can show you settings. So you pretty much have autoplay on and off. That's what you get from settings. Account on the Hulu application on the Roku, you can't really do anything. It's telling you to go to a computer. About, this is going to give you app and device information, privacy policies, terms of use, and licenses. And then you've got help and log out. So if you want to log out of your Hulu application, you can do that. So Hulu has gone through quite a few changes since I started using it. It is still one of the better services, in my opinion, if you're trying to keep up with something that is currently on TV. If you're looking for a large back catalog of stuff, they do have it, but it's really for those people who want to stay current with something that's on. Now, I say this with all of my streaming services, you don't need to have all the streaming services all the time. As I mentioned at the beginning, that $12 price tag for a year's worth of Hulu is what got me in the door, because I had it for a year, and then after that I was hesitant to give it up. But Hulu has a great ability to pause your subscription. So what I would do is I would pause my subscription for the maximum amount of time, which I think was like 4 months, and then it would automatically turn back on, send me an email, and then I would watch stuff on Hulu. And I spent a lot of time jumping through time like that and just binge watching a bunch of stuff. Remember, you do not need all the services all the time. If you have Hulu Disney bundle and a credit card that gives you back a little bit for having that, it could be worth having it on all the time. Or if you have family members who really need to stay up to date on something, and small children for the Disney side. I've seen Hulu grow into what it has become, and I'm happy that it's still around, and I want to see what they'll do in the future. But this has been the look at the Hulu application on the Roku device to let you know what navigation will look like and what you can expect while using it, in case you wanted to add it to your streaming services. With that being said, I have been Wanderer001. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the area below. And as always, thanks for watching.
If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like, as that will help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here, you can always help fuel the next review by buying me a coffee, link in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, you know what to do.